seated. Thank you all for being here today. Know that your presence here has multiple important meanings. It means that you are loved by Michelle and Dan, and it means that you love them to take the time to be here to give the gifts of your love and presence. Most importantly, if you're here, it means that you've helped shape them and their relationship in some way. If you're family, you've helped shape them as the outstanding individuals who stand before you. If you're friends, you've supported them in their relationship in good times and in tough times. This especially goes for those of you up here with Michelle and Dan. Everyone here is part of this ceremony and this bond, so thank you. We also want to take this time to recognize those family and friends who cannot be here with us today. Please join me in a brief moment of silent reflection in their honor. Thank you. Before we begin, I want to share a blessing for Dan and Michelle. Let us take this moment to give thanks to God, for God is love and all things can be perfected through love. May this union be blessed by God, and may all of our intentions and blessings for Michelle and Dan become reality. Amen. Let us begin. Unitarian minister Robert Fulghum once wrote that it was the late night talks, the informal promises, the maybes and somedays, and when we're married, and other unspoken conversations that are the real process of a wedding. With that being said, I want to tell you about one very special night. It was April 14th, 2017, in Los Angeles, California. Dan and Michelle landed with a plan to cruise the Pacific Coast Highway. But before that, it was a night at the LA County Museum of Art, the one that you see in all the movies. The Southern California air was brimming with romance as a street performer started playing a song that Michelle recognizes. She turns to Dan and says, "Babe, it's our song." Dan nodded knowingly. Michelle remained oblivious as the performer followed them, still playing, and Dan began to tell her how much he has loved the past few years together. Michelle thought, this is all so romantic. He must not be able to help himself from saying all these nice things. It wasn't until he got down on one knee with a ring that she got it and got engaged. Many of you probably know that story, but it's an irresistible one to tell. Fewer among you know the story that I'm about to tell, which is about how Dan and Michelle are fit for each other and fit for marriage, and how they share a vision of the future and what marriage means to them. I'm going to start by talking about love, because this is a wedding. First, I want to honor what love is with a reading from the book of John. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. By this is love perfected with us, so that we may have confidence for the day of judgment, because as he is, so also are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. We love because God first loved us. Excuse me. Love brings two people together. It makes the good times great and the great times incredible. It's a building block of a lasting relationship, and I'm happy to say that Dan and Michelle love each other immensely. Michelle loves Dan. She loves the little things that he does to make her laugh, and the big things, like how he supports her. He is her rock and her shoulder to cry on. She loves that he shares her values and goals, how he compliments her, and above all, how she can truly be herself around him. I could go on, but I want to talk about how Dan loves Michelle. You see, Dan loves how he can be himself around Michelle. He loves how she shares his values and goals, and how she's driven, yet lovable, affectionate, and warm. He loves the way she smiles and the sound of her laugh when he does those silly little things that he does. And of course, he loves those beautiful blue eyes that captivated him the first time that they met. Dan and Michelle love each other, and as John wrote in the gospel, love gives us confidence. Love makes us stronger, and this is very true of Dan and Michelle. You heard how they share the same values and goals, and how they can be their true selves around each other. Leaning into each other like this, they can become more resilient. They'd be stronger together than they are apart. But don't take my word for it. Listen to what Michelle says about Dan. Dan has made me a better person by pushing me to do things and to get out of my comfort zone. And now hear what Dan says about Michelle. Michelle motivates me to be the best version of myself. I just want to be the best person I can be because I love her. When two people make each other better like this, they complement each other, they are fit to sail through the waters of life. But you shouldn't set sail without a course, and this is where those shared goals and values come into play. Dan and Michelle share a vision for the future, and it's a map that will keep them pointed forward together well into the years. I'm going to paint a picture of that vision for you because it's just plain fun to imagine what's happening in the future. 40 years from now, Dan and Michelle are still settled in the house that they just bought. Their kids and grandkids come to visit frequently, and they're fed by the tremendous cooking skills that Michelle has developed. It's true. Dan still wins at board games, Michelle still wins at mini golf, and they still travel to California every year. Dan is a silver fox, and Michelle's blue eyes are still deep like the ocean. Above all, decades from now, Dan and Michelle will love each other as much as they do on this day. Dan, Michelle, everyone here wants that wonderful future for you. May it be so. I now invite Dan's mother, Eleanor, forward to share a reading from 1 Corinthians.
Love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. Love does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Love is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love rejoices with the truth. Love always protects. Love always hopes. Love always perseveres. Love never fails.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, when I asked Dan and Michelle why it's important for them to get married, Dan said this: when most of us are younger, you feel like you don't know how you'll know that someone is the one. I knew it about Michelle from the very beginning. And he continued, echoing what I've already talked about in the past few minutes. Years of dating have brought us further together and reinforced that she is the person that I am meant to be with, that we are very compatible, that we complement each other, and we take care of each other. They complement each other, they support each other, they make each other better. I feel very validated. Now, when I asked Michelle why it's important to get married, she wanted to recognize the role that her parents played in this day. Marriage has always been a part of my upbringing. My parents have been married for 36 years now, and it's so fulfilling and satisfies my ultimate want in life to know that that will be Dan and myself one day. Well, Michelle, that day is here. It's today. Soon you and Dan are going to be wed, but I first want to let everyone know what y'all's vision of life after this day, marriage, means to you two. To Dan and Michelle, marriage means companionship, walking side by side, but also oneness, sharing the relationship as a mutual cause. It means putting in equal work and effort, communicating effectively, and loving unconditionally. To Dan and Michelle, marriage takes compromise, but rewards you with lifetime companionship. Dan says, I could not picture my life any different than with Michelle beside me every day. Dan, Michelle, in your thoughts on marriage, you've captured much of what it takes to make a marriage work. So you know much of what I'm about to say, but it's so important that it's worth saying anyway. There will be tough times. That's just how life goes. The way to get through them is to keep talking. Talk every day. Talk about your worries, your joys, your fears and dreams. Don't let anything linger and never go to bed mad. Power through stressful things and take your time with joyful things. And above all, remember that love is a verb. Perform acts of kindness, not just for each other, but for the world around you. These things will help you stay strong. And of course, kiss each other now and again. That's pretty important. We'll get there soon. Now that I've said my piece, are you two ready to move forward?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dan, do you take Michelle to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to her for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Michelle, do you take Dan to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to him for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Wonderful. May I have the rings? Thank you. Wedding rings serve as a symbol of the commitment that you two have just shared. They're an outward and visible sign of the inward and invisible love that ties you two together. I want you to take a moment, just soak this in. Look at each other, and now look out at your family and friends here to support you. Say hi, family and friends.
Hi.
Now I want you to take the other's ring and look down at that ring, or the ring in your partner's hand, and think about how these rings are going to carry the memory of this day and this moment. You can look down as time passes by at your ring and know that it carries all the love and all the intentions and everything from this day where you, surrounded by love, committed to each other for life. It will serve as a shield, a symbol, and I guarantee it'll put a big smile on your face when you see it on your hand in a moment. Dan, please place the ring on Michelle's left hand and repeat after me. Michelle, I give you this ring
Michelle, I give you this ring
to wear upon your hand
to wear upon your hand
as a symbol of our unity, love, and trust.
as a symbol of our unity, love, and trust.
Michelle, please place the ring on Dan's left hand and repeat after me. Dan, I give you this ring
Dan, I give you this ring
to wear upon your hand
to wear upon your hand
as a symbol of our unity, love, and trust.
as a symbol of our unity, love, and trust.
You two have exchanged vows of love and devotion in front of your family, your friends, God, and each other. You've made it to this point in love and committed to each other completely. And so, by the power vested in me by the state of Pennsylvania, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I love